he will deliver a 20-minute talk on the power of yes. And in this talk, Martin will explore one of the most fundamental mindsets from improvisational theatre and how we can embrace yes and in our lives and work. Martin moved to UAE, Dubai, from Germany in January 2018. So that is, he's here for about 9 months. 9 months. And during this time, he has facilitated 10x strategy workshop with the Prime Minister's Office of the UAE, and he is a member of the International Applied Improvisation Network. Recently, Martin founded his company, Say It, where he delivers high-energy experiential learning workshop for personal and team development. So, I introduce Martin.
Thank you so much, Yoga. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Martin.
A couple of years ago, I was on exchange in Brazil, and I was sitting in my room in Sao Paulo and scrolling through my Facebook feed. And suddenly, I received a message from someone I didn't know. It was a big text block, barely understandable English, and the message was kind of like this. Hi, how are you? We look for foreigners. We are having a TV show, and you can trust me. And my German instinct immediately went on. A stranger online who I don't know, with a Pinocchio profile picture, and talking about trust? No way. So still, I was intrigued, because usually you receive emails with spam, with scam, banks, PayPal, whatever, but this was Facebook. So I went on his profile, and I saw that we had a friend in common. And this friend was also a German exchange student. So I wrote him, hey, do you know this person? He said, yes, this girl. We talked a little bit, and we hang out. She asked me about a TV show, but I didn't want to do it. So I thought, okay, I go a little bit deeper. So I called her, and we talked on the phone. And then she said, okay, let's meet up. We will pick you up and drive to the studios of the TV show. I said, okay. So one day, I was standing on the street, and she called me and said, you know what? All company cars are occupied. So we will pick you up with a plain van. There will be no company logo outside. I said, okay. So the van arrived. I was standing there, and the door slided open. And when you have this flashback to when you're 5-year-old and your mom tells you, don't enter into a car with a stranger. I don't know, something in this moment just drove me, just do it. In an exchange semester, you're doing crazy stuff anyhow. So I went inside, and I drove with them to the studios. And it was huge. Suddenly I was in the studio, I've never been to one before, and they told me what I would have to do. 1 week later, I was in one of the biggest TV shows in Brazil, with superstars that have together like more than 50 million Instagram followers. I was dressed up as a German with lederhosen, so how they perceive us. I had headphones on, and I had to sing, or at least try to understand a Brazilian song and try to sing it. And the superstars had to guess what I'm singing. But that was basically the concept. And it was a crazy experience. And back then, I didn't know actually that it was an early taste of yes and principle, which I'm talking about today. And on another side, it impacted me also on a more creative side and going out of my comfort side. Because, I would never done this. Like, what would happen if I didn't reply to that message, right? So, after coming back from the exchange semester, I was working in Germany in strategy, business development. But next to that, I needed more. It was creative side that I just experienced. So I started with Toastmasters, Public Speaking Association. I've done theater. I've done even stand-up comedy. Imagine how difficult it is in doing comedy in German. And then I also did improvisational theater. Who has been to an improv workshop or class or knows what improv theater is? Yeah, very nice. So basically, what it is, it's you think on the spot and you say something. And in improv theater, you build up with a partner on scene a story out of nothing actually. And you need certain skills and principles to do that. Now, I really liked that, and I saw many benefits for me. It was a lot of fun when we met with the group every week. We merged together almost as one team. I noticed also many benefits when I was doing like meetings at a company, that I was just speaking up in situations where I wouldn't have before. And I really liked it. Until one day, my girlfriend came to me and said, "Hey honey, I have a job offer from Dubai. Do you want to join?" And here I am. Since January 2018, just for New Year's Eve. And since then I've been doing what, like Yoga said already, a project with the Prime Minister's office, and recently I have started my company. It's called Say It, where we do experiential learning programs for soft skill development and team development. And the energy is always amazing in these workshops, and we base everything on improv exercises or principles. And there's a whole sector that's called applied improvisation. So there's many companies around the world, Google, Pepsi, who are doing improv workshops and trainings at their companies. It's being done also at higher education like Stanford University, Columbia University. So many people see the values of it. Good morning. Now, so one of the core principles of improvisation is yes and. Has anybody heard of yes and? And today I want to show you 3 different layers of yes and, of how we can benefit of it for ourselves and how it can have a positive impact for others, the people around us. Alright, so the first layer of yes and is when we use it more as a technique tool. And for this I would like to do a short exercise with you guys. Please get in pairs of 2, it probably will be your neighbor, and decide who is going to be A and who's going to be B. Yeah? We will together, we have 2 short rounds. We will plan vacation together, or a trip. And I will need to just quickly volunteer up here, and I will show you, just demonstrate what we're going to do. Anyone? Please. Please give him a warm applause. What's your name?
Mohammed.
Muhammad Ali, right?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you for coming.
Of course.
So we will plan together a vacation. And the rule for that is that we will always start with a yes, but, every sentence. Okay, so somebody will start with a statement. We will don't ask questions. We will start and try to build something together. So who would you like to start? You or me?
Feel free.
Thank you. So let's go next week to Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, but that's far.
Yes, but still, it's only 1 hour.
Yeah, but I don't have a car.
Yes, but I can rent a car.
Yeah, but it's too much trouble. It's expensive, isn't it?
Okay, so is it clear?
Yes.
So try not to ask questions, why should we go there or not, just try to build on it, all right? Let's have 20 to 30 seconds for it. Grab your partner. Partner B will start. And choose any vacation location that you want. You know, we can start with Italy, wherever you want to go.
So we have to do this exercise.
Yes, please do the exercise together.
Brazil.
In English.
Let's go. In English.
You said only a vacation.
Yeah, the trip vacation.
Okay, let's go to South.
Okay. So how was that experience?
He didn't want to say yes, but.
Most
The
of
first rule is to say yes, but.
it was more of questions coming in.
Okay, questions coming up.
I had to block.
You have to block, yeah, very good. So this is one rule of improv, not blocking. And what we do usually in life, we sometimes even not consciously say yes, but when we talk to someone. And this is nowadays just a very polite way of saying no. Because the but erases everything that came before. Yes, I agree kinda, but, you know, here comes my opinion, my better idea maybe. Now we will do the same exercise. We switch the partner, so the one that started just now in round 2 will your opposite partner will start. But now what you're going to do is yes and. Okay, you will start everything with yes and. Can we have a short demonstration? Would you like?
Yeah, please.
Yes? Who would you like to start?
You.
Okay. Let's go to Legoland next week.
Yes, and let us bring our friends.
Yes, and I will bring definitely my mom.
Yes, and I will bring all the people from my house.
Yes, and afterwards we can have a big party at a restaurant.
Yes, and that would be very funny.
Okay? So you try to build on each other with the yes and. Okay, let's have 20 to 30 seconds. Let's go.
Hello, Eva. Let's go next year for a trip to Yes, and we could
Okay. Hello. So I'm noticing more energy in the room. What's happening?
It's feeling more positive. Like the first one was a bit very like negative because we kept on saying no actually, even though we said yes.
Yes.
And the second one I felt was more positive and more engaging.
More positive, fantastic. And yes, and I agree with you. And this is a fantastic tool you can use for brainstorming sessions to explore more ideas together. And of course, afterwards you have to still prioritize, but this is just a great tool for business meetings or even planning with your spouse. I dare you try it next time when you plan your next vacation. And one of my last workshops, there was a senior financial guy, and we had a discussion afterwards after the same exercise. And he was concluding that yes, but is my preferred way to do things because I have to challenge investments, I have to see that the cash flow is there. And I said, all right, I'm not there to convince people, I'm just trying to show a different way of dealing with stuff. And then usually after the workshops, I send out surveys. And one of the questions is, what kind of activity did you like the most and why? And guess what this person said? The yes and activity was the best activity for me because it opened up a new perspective and I'm always using yes but. And I was like, wow, how amazing is that? I wasn't expecting this. So I really like to see this kind of, at least if it is an aha moment for people. The second layer of yes and is more a communication skill of type. So let me ask you this question first. Imagine a 5-year-old from your family comes to you and says, hey, let's go play on the Sheikh Zayed Road. What are your immediate thoughts? Yes. How would you respond to it?
Dangerous.
Dangerous, yes. You know how many words we speak on average per minute? 100, 120. And do you know how many words per minute our brain can process? Up to 550. So imagine how many words, how much room we have for thoughts, for opinions, even judgments sometimes when we talk to someone. And how would you respond to that? I mean, there are several options, right? But let's go first to yes and, as this communication skill. When we look into it, the yes, and we have to separate it. The yes is more like an outside-in approach. What are you talking to me? What are you saying? I'm really curious to find out why you're saying what you're saying. The and means that you are trying to contribute. You give your opinion. And you consciously choose how to respond to that, what to say. Because the curiosity that you develop in the beginning gives you a momentum that you try to find out why is that child saying this? Maybe they want to provoke you because you're not paying attention to them, so they're trying to find ways to get your attention. Maybe they just want to play with cars. We don't know yet. Or maybe they're just trying to get a crazy adventure, but then we would have to say, you know what, maybe we go to amusement park or Legoland, something that is also fun, but maybe not that dangerous. So yes and doesn't mean we say yes to everything. It's more, we can't say no firmly to many situations, of course. It's more like how we interact with someone and then how we respond to it. And of course, this is difficult when we're under pressure, when we talk about sensitive topics. Not long ago, my wife came to me and she said, let's go hiking. I said, no way. Like really hiking? And I had the perception about hiking that it's boring and not cool, and what should I do anyhow outside, you know, like just walking around. And why? I mean, I didn't even question her why she was giving me this opportunity to go and why I immediately blocked it. But you know, women have their techniques to convince men. This is a topic for another talk, actually. And then we went to the mountains, and I loved it. It was amazing, you know, seeing this calmness, this silence, the big mountains. And I thought, wow, like, thank you, first of all, and I wouldn't have experienced it without you. So yes and can help us sometimes just to make someone feel in a certain way, because we choose how to respond to certain situations. The third layer of yes and is more like an attitude or life philosophy. You know, how do you respond to certain situations, to offers? An offer in improv terms means anything that can happen to you. So an offer can be a mistake by you or by someone else. An offer can be maybe an opportunity. Like when I was in Brazil, there were several uncertain situations, and I took it as an offer. Just okay, I just write to that person. I just go into that van. And I just do stuff in front of hundreds of people with cameras. So this is more like a yes, just do it. On the other hand, you have sometimes tough times. How do we deal with mistakes or really challenging situations? And there's one example when I was doing stand-up comedy in Germany. After my first performance, where I was really nervous, but it was okay. You know, it wasn't great. It was not bad. And I posted the video on YouTube. And I also posted it on Facebook. And all my friends were like, wow, amazing that you've done this. You know, really great, courageous. You know, 200 likes, which for me is a lot. 50 comments, you know, people were just, I didn't know that I would create such a hype. So I went to bed. Next morning I woke up and I received a notification on YouTube. Somebody commented below your video. I checked it out. And I brought you the German translation or in English. And somebody said, quote, "That was incredibly bad. We asked ourselves whether he hadn't performed in front of his friends so they could tell him how miserable he is. I see no future." End of quote. First, I was really angry. I thought, why don't you try it yourself? You know, it was my first time. Like, just go ahead and do it, you know? Why are you so negative? And then I was getting more depressed. It took me, like, it really hit me. Like, wow, you know, like, should I stop? Should I continue? Maybe he's right. And then suddenly, 200 likes and 50 comments versus one negative comment shifted like this. And for half a day, I was really depressed. I really was thinking all the time, you know, these 550 words you process in your mind. Until I was scrolling again through my feed on Facebook, and there's a guy, Gary Vaynerchuk, who's an entrepreneur, and he does motivational videos. And coincidentally, it happened on that day that he posted something about haters. And the message was twofold. Very simple. First, why should I care what somebody says who took 5 minutes of his life to spread negativity? And second of all, there's so many superstars out there who receive tons of negative comments. Why should I care about one? So it relieved me, and I was happy that I just happened to see this video. And but sometimes, we think, and it depends always how we respond to certain situations. And I think a nice quote by Charles Swindoll summarizes this kind of mindset, which goes like, life is 10% what happens to you, and 90% how you react to it, to any situation. All right, to put it into perspective, we had 3 levels of saying yes and, or applying the principle of yes and. First of all was more explicit, using it for brainstorming sessions, for vacation planning maybe, and saying yes and. Of course, you have to always afterwards, it's a great way to generate ideas, but afterwards you have to come back down and filter the best ones. The second one is more the communication skill, crafting it, being curious to what other people are saying. Why are they saying? If somebody at work is coming with a maybe stupid idea, but why are they saying this? They have an education, maybe they have a good reason for that, to say that. And then you choose consciously how to respond to it. And the third one is more an attitude mindset thing. There's so many situations in our life where we either have a setback, or something bad happens to us, to our family, or maybe there's even small triggers, which could be opportunities. And we are responsible for how we react to it. So I encourage everyone to try out the yes and principle in daily life, and to see its benefit for yourself and for your people around you. Thank you.
Do you have any questions? We have time for two questions.
I'm curious about what you did with the Prime Minister office. So was it the Prime Minister himself, or how did it go?
Thank you, very good question. It was another offer. So I was actually emceeing on a festival, Dubai Links Festival, where we're just introducing speakers on stage. And one of the speakers, because of a very specific case, he was the last speaker of the 3 days. He came from Shanghai, and nobody was there for his speech, because in parallel there was another speech about Snapchat. So everybody went there,
Yeah.
And he was like, wow, I came from Shanghai and nobody's here. What should we do? And I was like, oh man, like I feel really bad for him. So first of all, we postponed it for half an hour, and I was like walking around outside like in the fish market, just saying, hey, we have an awesome speaker now, la la la, please join us in half an hour. When the other speech is over, we wrote to the organizers that they should bring the people to our stage. And I didn't know then, but this guy liked that approach, kind of that I was trying everything so that people join his talk, that he invited me to workshops. One was with the Prime Minister's office. It was more like a strategy innovation workshop for 5 days, 10x strategy they have to come up with innovative ideas for the future. And was facilitating, one of other facilitators.
Pinocchio picture.
Yeah.
Did he have a short nose at the time?
Really, I don't remember. It was not the main. It was not just Pinocchio.
Lying,
it was like with the background and everything.
Okay.
But in that moment, you make a lot of associations. Yeah.
Have you ever heard someone say yes and the person just hears the yes, like the kid? If the kid says let's play on Sheikh Zayed Road, and then you would say yes and the kid would only hear the yes, right? How would you suggest? Would you suggest to answer yes and, or would you suggest, what, that's a definite no?
So it depends what kind of emotion you want to transmit, right? So one way, because the explicit way of saying yes and is just a tool, right? You do it in the beginning trainings with people who develop improv skills to see that we can build up so many things, and it can be used for brainstorming sessions. I personally wouldn't use it in such a situation, because then you hear the yes. The yes and in this situation would more apply with the communication approach, like, okay, why is he saying that, and how can I respond? So you can be a tough mother or aunt, whatever, in that situation, and say, no way. Or you can say, why do you want to play there? So there are several approaches. I think you can shift the emotions and how you want to make that person feel in that moment.
I think you already had 3 questions. but still Martin will be with us for some more time. So if you have any further question, you can meet him on a one-to-one basis and talk to him. So our first part of the meeting is over, which is knowledge sharing, and I believe most of us have gained some knowledge from this talk. So our second part of the event is collaboration. So you can meet other people here, try to arrange one-to-one meetings with at least one person to know about the person. And regarding collaboration, we have a WhatsApp group for that purpose, where you could share knowledge with others. The group admin is Alexandra. Can you please raise your hand? So if you want to join our WhatsApp group, you can give your